how's it going? I'm Sydney from PhoneDog.com. This is the Pantech Jest from Verizon. It's a feature phone, has a full slide-out QWERTY keyboard, and you can get it for free right now from Verizon after new to your contract and rebates, of course. Now, it's a nice phone, definitely meant for text messaging. I think it has some other cool features that you can use for social networking and different things like that. I'm a little disappointed by the 2.5mm headphone jack though. But I'll get all into that. I'm going to do a full review for you guys so I can show you how it performed whenever I was testing it. Basically what I thought of it in the week that I was using it and testing it out. So it's a Pantech Jest from Verizon. I'm Sydney from PhoneDog.com. Let's go check it out. Okay, so again, it's the Pantech Jest from Verizon. This is a feature phone from Verizon. Now, Verizon has different groups or different categories of their phones. They have feature phones, and they have 3G multimedia phones, and then smartphones. So the feature phones generally don't have quite as many features as a multimedia phone, mostly used for text messaging, things like that. It does have a web browser, music player, social beat for social networking, but it's not going to perform quite as well in those aspects as a multimedia phone would, since it's mostly going to be used for text messaging, or that's what it's mostly meant for. Perfect for a first phone for a young teenager or for a kid. You'll notice here there's different themes that you can use, so it affects the wallpaper. I don't know if you can tell the background kind of has a texture there. There's a couple themes that you can use, also affects the menu. I'll go over and show you the themes really quick. And you'll notice I'm using this optical trackpad type thing. I think it's called the optical navigation key, and so you use it by swiping. And it kind of took me a little while to get used to, because when I first got it, I was trying to just swipe down and it wouldn't always work, and so I realized that you kind of have to use the whole key whenever you're swiping. So again, go to display settings and we'll go to the display themes. So you see you have Log Cabin, which I'm on right now, Oceanic Delight, and then white. So if I change it to white, it will change. You'll see it change the menu. This has also changed as well. So, you know, I think that's a pretty cool feature. The optical navigation key is also kind of a nifty feature, something you don't really see on feature phones these days. These keys right here are also touch sensitive. So they're not soft keys, they're just capacitive touch keys, which is, again, a cool feature. And I didn't have too many problems. Like I said, this key I had to kind of get used to swiping. These didn't really have too many problems with. Sometimes, obviously, it wouldn't react. I had to press it multiple times, but it wasn't too big of a problem. The screen here is a 2.6-inch screen, not a touch screen, obviously, but it has a resolution of 320 by 320 pixels. Just a basic TFT screen. On the back you have your 2-megapixel camera. It also captures video, and so the quality wasn't that great, but again, like I said, it's a feature phone, one of Verizon's lower end models, but it is, you know, I think a 2-megapixel camera is a lot better than a lot of days we see a 1-megapixel camera or 1.3-megapixel camera, so definitely, you know, good to see at least 2 megapixels. You also have a self-portrait mirror. And there's actually some pretty cool effects that you can use whenever you're editing a picture. And so I'll push the camera button there. Oops, pushed the wrong one. That's the taskbar. So you see you can go to different menu options. This only comes up sometimes. So if you're in the home screen, obviously you can use it. But I noticed whenever I went to something like when I went to email or I was in Social Beat, it didn't work. It wouldn't come up whenever I pushed that. But when I was in messaging, it would work. So just different functionality there. I'm not really sure why. You think with a taskbar function like that, you know, one of the reasons it's useful is because you can have it come up whenever you want to go to another program, but apparently not. Let's try again the camera key. Okay, so we're in camera mode, and this is actually the video capture mode. So let me go to options. You can see you can change the white balance, the brightness. Okay, and then here is camera mode, and so if we go to options, you'll see a lot of the same features, brightness and white balance, but you can also add some color effects. You can change the resolution. So we'll see the color effects are normal, swipe over antique. So some pretty cool features there. You know, nice to have that additional feature, not just the camera, but also captures video and has a self-portrait mirror and then different color effects. Again, like I said, you can also change the resolution. You can change the white balance, has a self-timer. So it's not the greatest camera. Whenever I was testing it, you know, didn't take the best pictures, but if you're just going to be uploading to Twitter or sending it to people, I think that the quality was definitely good enough. Speaking of Twitter, I mentioned that there is this Social Beat program, and so that is where you can have access to your Twitter account, MySpace, Facebook, and even Gmail. Loads in here. You'll see Gmail. Now there's a separate application for mobile email, which you can use for Yahoo, Hotmail, or other email accounts. But this does have Gmail already, so you don't have to set it up again. If you don't want to, you can just use it straight from here. So and then there's Google Talk, and then there is what's called MyStream, where it brings all of it together. So you'll notice some of this is from Facebook, and then some of it is from an RSS feed, and then some of it will be from Twitter. It's not showing any right now, but it will bring all of that together. So I think that's kind of a nice feature, and it works pretty well for being a feature phone. Obviously, this is a service that you'll have to pay for data whenever you use this, but I think it's definitely a nice feature to have. If you want to be able to connect to your social networks, but you don't want to have to get a smartphone and use it that way, you can just have this feature phone and then it has it built in already. So it's a service you'll have to pay for, like I said, but it definitely works really well. Going back to the menu, a couple of other features you do have mobile web. You can download music. The phone also comes with a VCast Music with Rhapsody, so you can buy songs and download them. The phone has a micro SD card slot, so it doesn't come with a card, but it supports up to 16 gigabytes of memory with a card if you have one or if you go buy one. So, I think that's definitely a nice feature. The only downside to this setup is that it has only a 2.5 millimeter headphone jack. So I wish that was 3.5 millimeter, but you can get those at stores, so it's not too bad. And you do have VCast Music with Rhapsody. Also background music support, so you can be playing music and then do other things and the music will still play in the background. So definitely some nice features with music, and then the Social Beat app and mobile email. Also comes with VZ Navigator. You'll notice that in the menu. These are things that, again, you'll have to pay for them, but it does have the feature. Also, Family Locator, you can use that. So, since I'm guessing this phone probably appeals more to teenagers or young kids, it'd be nice, having that Family Locator capability. Now, the keyboard, I kind of just skipped over that, but it does have a pretty nice keyboard. You'll notice, it's a little bit smaller just because it's a slider phone. The keyboards are usually more cramped compared to, say, a phone that slides out from the side. This is the Intensity, so the keyboard is wider, whereas here it's about half the size. So it's not a dogfight. I just wanted to show you the size comparison. So yeah, you see that the keys are slightly raised just a little bit, but they definitely have a very tactile feel to them. So, not the clicky kind that are kind of slippery sometimes, but very grippy, so it's very easy to use. You have a double wide space bar. I said space bar. I don't even know what that means. Okay. And then a shortcut key for text messaging, shift, and then this is your number pad that you use for dialing function. Then you can go to alternate keys. So I'll go to the text messaging interface, and you'll see you do have threaded text messaging. So let me go to messages. So you can see you have, it's not quite, I know some of them use, the messages will kind of be staggered, so you'll have your message, and then the received message, and then your message. So it's, it's not like that. I tend to prefer that, but it does have the color difference, and so that makes it really nice. And you can see which one was sent, or which one was received, and then, which one you sent. So but it does have threaded text messaging. Let me go back. I'll type out a quick message on the keyboard so you can see about what it's like to type on. Easy dog. So there's a quick message. It's really easy. I didn't really have any problems with it. I always like the keyboards that have the tactile and are more rubbery and not so slippery. Definitely easy to get a grip on. So definitely really enjoy the keyboard. You'll notice here on the front that along with this navigational key, there is a dedicated music button. So that's pretty nice to have. Speakerphone button, clear button as well. This also functions as the back button. So, you know, when I first got the phone, I was kind of disappointed that it didn't have a back button, but this actually functions as the back button. So, you know, not too bad. Definitely nice to have that feature. So lastly, I'll just talk a little bit about the battery. The battery is under here, and it is a 920 milliamp hour battery. And according to Verizon's estimates, this will give you about a little over 200 minutes of usage time, about 12 days of standby time. Whenever I was testing it, the battery actually lasted, so I got it on a Wednesday, and on standby the battery didn't die until Monday. And so, you know, I was doing a few things, but I was mostly just testing it to see how it would last on standby, or how long it would last on standby, so I wasn't really using it a lot. So Wednesday to Monday, that's about 6 days. So, and then when I was using it, you know, standard time about 2 days. So with feature phones, battery time isn't usually a problem because, you know, just because they don't have as many things running as, you know, a smartphone would, the battery usually lasts a long time. I thought that 920 would be a little bit underpowered, but it seemed to last just fine. So that's a basic review for you guys of the Pantech Jest. Overall, you know, it feels kind of solid, feels very sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap or hollow at all, which is nice because a lot of phones, you know, they may be cheap as far as the price goes, and so but at the same time, the phone also feels cheap, and so that's never cool. But the phone is free, which is nice to know, or, you know, nice that you have that, but it feels pretty stoddy. It feels stoddy. No, it feels sturdy. And so I think that's definitely good. But anyway, that's basically it, guys. The Pantech Jest from Verizon. Again, like I said, you can get it for free right now after rebates and after signing a new contract, of course. But I'd say it's definitely a good phone for young kids or for teenagers, or somebody that just wants a phone for text messaging and isn't going to use a lot of web browsing, because the web browser isn't that great. But you do have it, and also you have that social beat feature. But anyway, there it is, guys. If you have any more questions, you can send me a message on Twitter. Anyway, enough out of me. Pantech Jest from Verizon. Get it for free now. It's a good, solid messaging device. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Cindy from PhoneDog.com, and I'll see you guys later.